Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do a video on Jesus, or the Jesuses. There are a lot of versions of Jesus, and now I did write it in the disclaimer because somebody caught this on my full recall video. I was describing my visit with Jehovah God, and I inadvertently said Jesus. I did not mean Jesus. Jesus was not there when I was talking to Jehovah. He was not there. Not there at all. So I wasn't even around where the angels were. I wasn't anywhere. The Ascended Masters, he was nowhere. There was no version of Jesus around Jehovah. Isn't that interesting? I didn't think about it at the time because I was busy with Jehovah, but it is fascinating that no Jesus was around Jehovah. But considering there's a lot of difference between the Old and the New Testament, I guess I shouldn't be all that surprised. Jehovah that I met was definitely from the Old Testament, wasn't very New Testament-y at all. Now, I ran into a lot of Jesuses. Lots of Jesuses. There aren't a few, there are many Jesuses that energy has gone to. There's not nearly as much energy as went to Jehovah God for all these beings, and there were different levels of how, well, I guess the word is strong, that the different Jesuses were. There are quite a few that definitely taught similar things, and the bad guys kind of accumulated all of their teaching. And really what happened is during that period of time, it was noticed that these teachings were getting out and they were going to mess with the Jehovah teachings. So they bad guys kind of grabbed all of these different teachings and put them in one book, and then ascribed it all to a Jesus, and then they told a bunch of stories about Jesus. Now, most of the Jesuses, I got along with quite well. Definitely a lot of the New Testament teachings are actually very Eastern, old Eastern belief systems, and most of the Jesuses I liked a lot. Now, the closer they were to the Old Testament or to Jehovah God teachings, the less I interacted with them. The more they leaned towards any of the natural religions or the Zen-like teachings, the Buddha teachings, except for the karma, and that's where they jacked with that religion, is they inserted the karma thing, and they took that way out of context because, that was a good way of messing with that spiritual belief and making people feel like they're scared. They're scared, whether or not they're going up or they're paying for karma or all that stuff. You just plug in karma. How can it scare you and how can it worry you? And that's why they inserted it, to interfere with a lot of really, really good teachings. But if I look through the New Testament, there's a lot of truth in the New Testament. Jesus said, "I'm the Son of God, but so are all of you." Remember, he said, yeah, I'm doing these miracles, but you'll do even more. He was talking to all of us, by the way, which we can. So there's a lot of beliefs in teachings that are in the New Testament that are absolutely phenomenally good. And there are many Jesus teachers. But then there's a lot of other people that came after that who kind of sent energy and created a new Jesus that hadn't really been a part of those teachings. And those are pretty cool guys too. But there isn't one Jesus. There's lots and lots of Jesuses. And then on top of that, not only that, but there's a lot of Christs. And if you say Christed, there is one said without any belief systems attached to it, that is actually a very, very high vibration, right below what I would consider unconditional love, like top of the line. The Christed vibration is a very, very high vibration, very high vibration. So, whenever you're talking about Jesus, there's lots of them. If you're talking about Christ, there's not as many Jesuses. There's more Jesuses than there are Christs. And then there is the Christed energy, which is a very high energy. Okay? So now do you understand why I haven't had long conversations about Jesus? Will any of the Jesuses save you to go to heaven? Well, if you believe he will, and you create your heavens, sure, he can. Will he get you to 5D? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Will he get a starseed home? No. It'll keep you in this game here. Because 5D, you don't have any God above you at all. There's no God above you as you're heading to 5D. You are a God, and there's nobody better than you. There's nobody worse than you either. Everybody's equal. Everything is equal. All the entities are equal. All the consciousness is equal. Period. End of story. And nobody can create your life, your life, or your experience, but you. You are the God of everything that you are creating. Okay? Even when you go into somebody else's, another creator God's game like you have here, still how you play it is totally up to you. That creator of this game cannot interfere with what you are creating. It's a part of the gig here. If you create something, which you all have, if you create a gig like this creator did, if you open it up to other entities to come and play, which we all do, then it's understood that the other entities can play within the creation as they wish. It's just the way we do things. That's how everybody does it. And so yeah, I guess that's it. Alright, so hopefully that covers the Jesus, the Christ questions. There really are too many of them to go into. Just know that any Christ, any Jesus that has been worshipped in any way, certainly by a group of people, there is an entity that has been created with that energy. Or actually there was an opening for an entity to come in and play the role of that being. So one of us jumped in and became Jehovah God. Another one of us became many Jesuses. And one of us became many Christs, one of the many Christs. And we agreed to play that role. And then those Jesuses match whichever religion they're attached to. So they act and think and react as that religion says that they would. Okay? That's how it works. Yeah, interesting. Okay. And that's it. Oh, you know what? I just found an answer. Yeah, that's how I do. I talk to the other side. The reason why, when I was talking to Jehovah, the reason why there wasn't a separate Jesus is because Jesus entity and the Holy Spirit entity were with the Jehovah entity. You know, that whole 3-in-1 gig? Well, when I went to talk to Jehovah, all three were in the one entity at that time. Interesting. New data that I had forgotten that just got brought up to me while I was talking to you guys. Cool, huh? And that's how come I just grabbed the phone, because I'm always asking myself those questions, then the answers get sorted out like a computer, like typing something into Google and pushing enter. That's how it works for me. Because like I said, everything that's from the other side cannot fit in this human brain, but I can sort it out and find it from the other side, like a really good computer accessing lots and lots of memory, lots of RAM, whatever. I don't know the computer terms. Okay, that's it for this one. I'll talk to you again soon. I love you bunches and huge hugs. Bye now.